Hello world, it is day 3 of Foundation Fest, and today we are going to check out the Rimmel Lasting Finish foundation. Hey everybody, Shelly here, and today it is day 3 of Foundation Fest, and today I've got the Rimmel Lasting Finish foundation. This has comfort serum. It is touted as a 25-hour long wear foundation, so if you like to wear your foundation for a day and an hour, this is the one you should go for. They describe it as a skin perfecting, now here's a little thing, it says full coverage foundation on the bottle, but on the description on the website it says a medium coverage foundation, so I don't know which they really believe that it is. You get 1 fluid ounce. This retails anywhere from about $6.75 to $8 between Amazon and the drugstore. I paid $7 for it at CVS. So it's about the same amount of product that you would typically expect. The bottle is glass, but the bottle has no pump. So that is a bummer. I prefer a pump, but it is a reasonably priced foundation. Now this is in shade 091. They call this Light Ivory. It was the lightest shade that they had. They have an ivory shade that looks like it's a little more warm or yellow undertoned. This looks to be a more cooler pink undertone, and so whenever possible I go for the pink undertone version because I do have a pretty cool undertone. I'm neutral overall with a cool undertone, and I do tend to have redness, pinkness going on in my skin, so these tend to look better on me. So I went with 091 Light Ivory. This comes in 7 shades, so it is not a terribly extensive shade range, though it does seem a bit skewed toward the light end side of the range, but the deep end of the color range was not really deep at all. So this may be something that will have to be touted for the pale princesses amongst us. It's not super fair. I think if you are any more fair than I am, this is probably going to be too dark. But let's read some of the claims here. It is a medium coverage foundation, or full, that feels hydrating and moisturizing. Lightweight formula blends instantly into the skin, creating a nude, poreless effect. Sweat, heat, humidity, and transfer proof for up to 25 hours. That seems pretty hardcore and kind of holy grail-like, if you ask me. So that's what they're claiming. Let me show you some swatches and compare this guy to some of the other drugstore foundations that I've got and to the Too Faced Born This Way that we tried out on day 1 of Foundation Fest. Swatch time. So here is the Rimmel Lasting Finish in shade 091 Ivory. This is the Revlon Color Stay in shade 110 Ivory, I believe it's called, the normal dry formula. This is Maybelline Superstay Better Skin in shade 15 Ivory. Very interesting interpretation of ivory. Same with Maybelline's Dewy and Smooth. This is the Fit Me Dewy and Smooth formula 115 Ivory. This is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi in shade Neutral 1 to 2. And then this is the one we tried for Foundation Fest, the Too Faced Born This Way in shade Snow. So you can definitely tell which ones are cool toned with the pink undertone versus neutral versus yellowish. I'm really surprised that Snow is so yellow toned, but there you have it. That is a comparison of swatches. Now that we got that out of the way, let's check out how this sucker applies. Hey ho, it's day 3 and Foundation Fest is well underway. As per usual, I have already cleansed and moisturized and sunscreened and primed my face with the IT Cosmetics number 50 Serum Collagen Veil Anti-Aging Primer. So that has all been done. The primer is dried as they recommend. And as per usual, I've got 2 options to apply the foundation today. We will start out with a damp Real Techniques blending sponge on one side and my Kat Von D Lock-It Edge foundation brush number 10 on the other side. If I have a preference, we will move forward with one or the other. And that's about it. Now, before we get started, my lips are just dying. It's not even winter, and Or is it winter? Did winter happen yet? I don't know. I'm going to put on some of my Almay. I just picked this up at the drugstore. It's an anti-aging SPF hydrating lip balm. And so far, I really like it. I think it's going to help me not only get in the habit of wearing SPF on my lips on a regular basis, but it's a little nicer than like the waxy feeling of a chapstick, which I've been a chapstick addict at various points in my life as well, but this feels a little bit nicer, and that's what we're going to roll with today. So, Rimmel Lasting Finish. I not only have never tried a Rimmel foundation, but I also have not really read anything about this Rimmel foundation, so I have no idea what to expect going into this. So we're going to be like rolling at it completely blind, but that's okay. I'm bummed a little bit because it's a bottle without a pump, and that just bums me out. I like a pump better, but face is ready to go. Are we ready? Why did I get nervous all of a sudden? I have no idea. I'm going to shake this onto my finger and just sort of dab some around. That's the other thing. You can't really tell how much product you're getting when you don't have a pump. You can't just say 2 pumps. Let's start with the sponge. I can see the sponge press marks in my face initially, and that makes me think this isn't, well, it's blending out fine. Okay, so I'm just going to stop having that thought right there. Coverage seems pretty sheer initially. Let's get a little bit more. Is there an easier way to get non-pump products onto your hand? I don't know. That's how I do it. I feel like there's not a ton of coverage going on with the sponge, although it does look really indetectable, and maybe that's because there's not much on my face. I don't know. Let's try the brush side and see where we're at. I forgot. I do feel like the coverage is a little bit better on the brush side. But I feel like the finish is nicer on the sponge side. I'm gonna go one more coat. Let's see how buildable this is, and I'm gonna use the sponge because I do feel like I like the finish a lot more. I think the brush is doable, but I don't really like the finish around my cheeks where I have some enlarged pores going on. Ah. Okay, I would say we are at about a light medium coverage. I can still see traces of my sunspots. I've got a little bit of redness on my nose that is still coming through. I would not say I could build this anymore. This was 2 coats, and at the second coat it started to settle into the fine lines here on my forehead and around my smile lines, and it's starting to look a little bit heavy on the areas that are like my trouble spots. So like my chin, my nose, my side of my forehead up here. So I don't want to apply any more product because I think it's starting to look a little heavy there. It's not clinging too badly to the dry skin around my nostrils, so that is promising. And the finish looks like a decent match for my skin tone. Let me sit back so you can kind of see my neck. It's a little more textured than I would like. I am going to set it with a powder because it feels just a little bit tacky, and isn't settling quite down into a dry, smooth sort of finish. So I think I am going to set this with a powder. Overall, I'm not in love at the moment, but I'm not opposed to it. It seems all right. It feels... I'm moving my face around because I can feel it. It feels like I'm wearing makeup. It doesn't feel super heavy, but I feel it. And for makeup that is claiming comfort as one of its selling points, I would think I wouldn't be able to feel it. And I can feel it on my forehead. I can feel it on my cheeks. It's almost that sensation when something like dries down and gets tighter. But we'll see how that goes. I'm going to put my makeup on and we'll see if that sensation dissipates at all. We're going to call this check-in time. It is 1:20 in the afternoon. So we're going to call it 1:20 and I will be right back with the rest of my makeup. All right, face is on. I actually like this foundation a bit more after I set it with a powder. So I set this with the Laura Geller Double Take Baked, what do they call it? Versatile Powder Foundation in Fair, and I really like this as a setting powder. The texture on my nose especially has completely vanished. No more pores, and that was after setting it with a powder. My cheek texture is a little bit better than it was, and my forehead texture is a little bit better. I might take more care in setting this foundation a little more explicitly. Oh, I missed a little spot around my nose ring. It's such a hassle. This nose ring is such a hassle. It's really not. I love my nose ring. So I think overall, I like this better now that I've got the rest of my face on. Let me give you guys a zoom in and we can see what's going on. Here is my forehead. It has not additionally settled into my forehead lines, so that is a good thing. So what I'm wearing today, other than the Laura Geller powder, I use the Too Faced Snow Bunny bronzer and a little bit of, I think it's a True Blend blush, one of the drugstore blushes, just a tiny little bit. My eyes are a combination of the Metal Matte palette. I was using, might be my new favorite color in here, this velvet color, and Fringe. And then I combined that with a couple of Makeup Geek shadows. So here I've got Pegasus and Peacock. So those are the two Makeup Geek shadows I was using. I was comparing Pegasus to the Metal Matte shade called Ignite, this guy here. So I swatched them side by side, and if anyone is looking for a dupe, this is Ignite, the Kat Von D, and this is the Makeup Geek Pegasus. So they're not exact dupes. Pegasus is a little more on the green side, and Kat Von D Ignite is a little more on the blue side, but they're really close. I ended up using the Makeup Geek to have a little more leaning toward the green since I'm wearing sort of a green thing today. So that's what's on my face. I also have been trying this Girl So Lashy mascara. That's what I'm wearing right now. Just skip it. It's totally gimmicky. It's really awkward, very messy. The end of the ball, the lash finder, has so much product on it that it gets all over the place. Not impressed. On my lips, so you saw I was putting on lip balm. My lips are like literally cracking and bleeding right now. They're in bad shape. And so I am kind of shocked. This is L'Oreal Color Riche in shade 800 Fairest Nude. And I'm shocked that I can actually wear this on my cracking lips. So that's what I'm wearing right now. And my lips actually look pretty close to normal, even though they are completely mutilated at the moment. So that was a fun surprise, I think. And yeah, so that is what I've got going on this mug. Are you impressed at how little eyeliner I put on? Trying to, turn over a new leaf, do something a little different, not like totally black out my eyes. Okay, it's a little something to get used to, but here we are. This is the face. We are sticking with our original check-in time, and so we're going on about an hour at this point. I will check back in natural light in a couple of hours before the sun fades, and then I'll check back again at the end of the night. See you in a bit. Holy cow, daylight is fading fast, and it is too windy for me to sit outside, so I'm sitting in my car right now, and I have to go to another grocery store because they only had 3 leeks left here, and I need 3 more leeks. And I need some kind of cheese that I can't pronounce that I couldn't find. So here is the check-in in natural light. What time is it? It is almost 5 o'clock, so we are a little over the 4-hour mark? 3-hour mark. 5 o'clock. We're going. Wow, math is tough. We're going on 4 hours. getting there, about halfway to the 4-hour mark. Okay, so everything looks okay so far. My cheeks are a little flushed because it's freezing cold out here and it's very windy in the Shenandoah Valley right now, but I don't see any downsides here. I like the shade on me. It does feel very comfortable at this point. That issue I had with being able to like feel it on my cheeks and my forehead, don't really have that anymore, so that calmed down. Let me see how close I can get with my phone. Probably not very close, but here's how it's looking so far. Looks alright. I will be back in a few hours, hopefully with cheese and leeks. Catch you in a bit. There we go, 10:31 p.m. Can you see that? If not, trust me, it is 10:31 p.m. We have just passed the 9-hour mark, and I'm all right with this foundation. I'm not all right with this little fleck of mascara that is sitting on my face, but I am all right with this foundation. So since my last check-in, I did some more grocery shopping. I came home, I cooked a meal. There was a little bit of sweating involved. It gets really hot in my apartment when I have to run the oven, and that took a couple of hours, and then I watched TV. So the foundation has now been on for a little over 9 hours, and this is one that I think kind of got better as the day went on. I know that sounds strange, but I did like it better after I set it and had all of my makeup on versus when I first applied it. And a few hours later I thought, this actually looks pretty nice. And now that I'm looking at it in the evening, it really maintained any positives it had, and none of the negatives got any worse. So if we go top to bottom here, my forehead looks fine. It's a little more textured looking than I wish it was, but it looks like it looks. I mean, it looks the way my forehead actually is. So I don't think it's doing me any favors up there, but it's not making anything look worse. It did not settle into the lines on my forehead. The dry patch that I have in between my eyes doesn't look bad, really. I mean, I think I actually look a little dewy on the forehead, which is, it doesn't look bad. It's not caking up. It's not really breaking down either. It's accentuating a few fine lines in there, but not too bad. Not too bad under the eyes in terms of fine lines. It looks a little dry, but it always looks a little dry at the end of the night. It's a little bit clingy on the dry patches around my nose. That happens with every single foundation, and there's a fuzzy on my nose. Let's talk about my nose for a minute. So this is day 3 of Foundation Fest, and I have had a runny nose for the past 3 days, and this foundation, the pores on my nose after setting it with the powder still look amazingly smooth, and for as many times as I have had to touch my nose in an attempt to stop from dripping all over the place. You can barely tell. I mean, I've got a little bit of a spot right on that blemish that has worn off just a little bit, but overall my nose looks fine. I'm really kind of shocked. The pores on my cheeks still look very nice, smooth. My blush and highlighter bronzer is still completely visible in there. A little more mascara flake. Why does mascara flake off so bad? Like, does anyone have suggestions? This is that So Lashy, and no. The lines around my smile lines, the product really has not settled into them. They're a little creasy, but it's not settled, and you know, I can't expect my skin to look like I'm 20. The only place that's having a little bit of breakdown is my chin. It's settled a tiny bit into the lines around my mouth, and my chin is breaking down just a little bit. What is this on my chin? I made grape jelly meatballs, and yeah, vegan ones. So ignore that spot that I just messed up on my chin because apparently I had some grape jelly on there. Hot mess right now. So let me zoom you guys in and you can get a good look at what I'm seeing over here. The nose and the under eye. And the forehead. Even my crow's feet aren't looking too bad. A little bit dry, but not too bad. You might notice that I am wearing a different lipstick than I was wearing earlier today. So that one earlier today was the Fairest Nude from the L'Oreal Color Riche. And while I was at the grocery store, I tried not to go down the beauty aisle. And I was consciously thinking, you just went to the drugstore the other day. You do not need to go down the beauty aisle. And then I was thinking, well, does Martin's have a beauty aisle? And then I'm thinking, you know they do. Like, what are you even having this conversation with yourself for? But then I thought, well, I should just make sure, you know, they've got one. And I'm not sure if it's really a big beauty aisle or a small beauty aisle. I should just confirm. And next thing, I have no control. And so next thing you know, I'm going down the beauty aisle at Martin's. And since I like this line and these nudes, I was looking at the other nudes that exist in this line. And I picked up number 840, Nature's Blush. And that is what I'm wearing right now. Totally took it open upside down. But it's just a little bit of a darker nude, sort of a brownish nude. And I kind of like it. It's like not brown, but it's not peach. But it's a little more of a statement than the fair nude. And I like it. So yeah, that happened. There you go. I give this foundation, the Rimmel Lasting Finish, a thumbs up. Not my holy grail, but totally wearable, totally comfortable. They claim it is a comfortable hydrating foundation. I don't think it's drying out my skin at all. Nothing itches. I don't think it really oxidized over time. I mean, you can see my neck, and I don't really think it has changed over time. Why am I sitting like this with my head back? I have no idea. But the claim that it can be worn for 25 hours, I'm not going to stay up all night to test that for you. I apologize. But considering how well it has held up over 9 hours, I would say it is certainly a long-wearing foundation. The transfer-proof part of their claim, I think, is definitely at least partially true in the sense that I was able to sort of blow my nose and things and not mess up my foundation very much, and that's a testament to staying power and lack of transfer. So I think a lot of its claims are holding up quite well. So I'm going to give the Rimmel Lasting Finish a thumbs up. I wish it came in some more shades, especially for the darker end of the spectrum, but if you have a shade match in this line, I recommend try it out. It might be something comfortable that those of us with dry skin can get away with wearing for long periods of time without looking cakey and flaky and feeling itchy and all that stuff. So thumbs up for Rimmel. This one is a win. So there's day 3 of Foundation Fest. I hope you found this helpful. If you would like to see more Foundation Fest videos, give me a thumbs up and leave some comments on any foundations you would like to see me try in this series or a future edition of it, and I will do my best to get my hands on those and check them out. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate your time, and thanks for stopping by and geeking out over makeup with me. I will catch you guys on the flip side. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.